Welcome to the TDD Spotlight, the series where we shed some light on Pokemon you may not have considered in trouble level drafts. I'm your host, Technovoid, and with me is your favorite Pokemon analyst, Hamsterwings. You all went nuts in the comments for starters, so we shall spend this episode talking about Chesnaught. Chesnaught is a C-tier grass and fighting type Pokemon with decently effective defensive utility. With a base HP of 88, 122 defense, and a few nice resistances in water, ground, rock, and dark, Chesnaught is able to provide a team with some solid physical bulk and forming a defensive core. In addition, a base 107 attack allows it to dish out some damage when needed, even when that isn't its primary goal. Chesnaught does struggle on the special side, however. While its 74 special attack isn't relevant, its low base 75 in special defense and its base 64 speed allow most specially oriented mons to respect it less. While Chesnaught's defensive typing does give it a few good resists, it also leaves it weak to the ever-present coverage typing of Ice, and very weak to any flying type Pokemon. Chesnaught has two abilities, the first of which is Overgrow, the default ability for grass-type starters. When Chesnaught has less than 1/3 of its HP left, its grass-type attacking moves get a 50% damage boost. This ability isn't bad for Chesnaught per se, and can be used on a more offensive mix-up set, but Chesnaught gets most bang for its buck from its second ability, Bulletproof. This gives Chesnaught immunities to quote-unquote ballistic moves. This is especially helpful in the case of giving Chesnaught an immunity to the ever-present Shadow Ball, but more importantly, Sludge Bomb. In the doubles format where Sludge Wave is less commonly used, Bulletproof offers Chesnaught a really valuable check against poison types which would otherwise hard counter it. Seeing as Chesnaught is most commonly going to be filling a utility tank niche for the team, with options like Synthesis, Leech Seed, and Spikes, these immunities can be far more helpful to the Mon than a damage boost at low health. And I'm now going to pass it on over to Hamsterwings to talk sets.
Chesnaught gets more moves than I thought, is what I've learned today. But realistically, I'm gonna be totally honest, like 3 of these sets are mix-up sets, and one of them is the real set that you're gonna run, and it's this one.
Dude, no, come on, don't do it, don't play to the meta.
Running moves like Leech Seed, Spiky Shield, Drain Punch, Spikes, you got Pain Split in there for some reason, I don't know why it learns that, but it does. You got Synthesis, you got moves that heal it, it just sits there and is annoying.
Yep. Leftovers is a great item for it.
Yeah, that's the main thing Chesnaught's gonna do. Got some leftovers because you're gonna be healing every turn anyway. Might as well heal more. Yeah, I mean, this is the main Chesnaught set. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent at what it does, and what it does is just kind of sit there and be annoying, offer some consistent damage. I feel like you could potentially run like a Rocky Helmet, potentially.
You could definitely, because this set is absolutely unable to do anything when there are decent special attackers still on the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
This set is primarily used to like force them out and have a partner pick them off.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, physical attackers are going to be moderately annoyed. They can still get through Chesnaught. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this thing will die to like a drill peck.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not the bulkiest thing. That 4x2 flying hurts it a lot.
Not the worst grass starter. Meganium says hi.
Yeah, Meganium is right there.
But yeah, this is like the primary thing Chesnaught's gonna do. Like Spiky Shield every other turn, Leech Seed, Drain Punch, set up some spikes maybe. Synthesis if it's feeling annoying.
Yeah, it's not gonna be great for preserving momentum, but it is gonna be pretty nice for just kinda being annoying and just sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah, extremely weak to set up, but it will sometimes block like nukes.
Yeah, it does have also Roar.
It does, yeah.
Which
worth noting.
Worth noting, okay. So onto this band set.
Yeah, here's a little band set. This is the only set I would run Overgrow on personally, because, I mean, Woodhammer can just nuke something at low health. That's probably the only time I'd run Overgrow, yeah.
Yeah, Bulletproof, just those immunities are so nice.
Got Stone Edge in there to, like, maybe speed creep a flying type and take it out. But that's about it. Superpower I put on there because it's its strongest fighting stab that isn't Focus Punch. If you feel that you would be running a team where Chesnaught would stay in longer, you might want to run Drain Punch or Hammer Arm over that. But Superpower is a good one-time nuke.
Mm-hmm.
It gets other moves other than Earthquake. It gets like Iron Head if you want to deal with maybe a slow-ish Fairy. Maybe gets Poison Jab as well. But a lot of people run Earthquake. I don't know. Whatever works. It's prep dependent. It gets a decent amount of coverage moves.
Yeah, it's pretty much coverage. I mean, when it comes to like its like main attacking moves, I think it really comes down to like Woodhammer, and then either
Yeah.
like Drain Punch or Superpower, and then after that it's really just team dependent.
Realistically, it's quite one note.
Yeah, at least on the attacking side. I mean, I would say on both sides, but definitely on the attacking side, it's pretty cut and dry what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to more cut and dry stuff, we have an AV set here.
Yep. Assault Vest, I mean, it gives... Assault Vest is nice with Drain Punch, as always, because, I mean, it gives you healing, even though you can't use, like, standard healing moves. Seed Bomb is in there because it's a little bit better than Woodhammer on this set, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other two are just coverage moves. Alternatively, you could slash, Leech Seed and Spiky Shield again if you would prefer a Z move.
Okay, yeah. For what it's worth, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's generally going to be better options for your Z-move user than Chesnaught.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like if you're in a position where you're like, yes, the best Pokemon on my team to use a Z-move is Chesnaught, maybe you've not drafted super great.
It's possible.
Yeah. But hey, if you do for some reason want, like, if you're really looking for that surprise factor, it does have a physical attack.
Yeah, at the very least, you can fire off a Z-Focus Punch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else?
And then the last set...
Okay.
No, not really. The last set is a Bulk Up set, because it does get Bulk Up, and it uses it pretty well, actually. I didn't put any item on this one, because it can be really anything. Citrus Berry, Rocky Helmet, Leftovers, whatever you feel is appropriate. I don't think this set is that impressive, because... no matter how many times you bulk up, you're not fast, and you will still die to just most special moves or even physical flying moves with boosted defense.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think this set is that impressive, as I've already said, because you really... like, Chesnaught doesn't do anything with the momentum. You can run it.
It does lose momentum.
Yeah, there are, like, specific teams that this would be exploitable against, but... for the most part, I don't think you're ever going to run a bulk up set and do well with it. It does also get Sword Stance if you wanted to go that route, but again, the lack of speed kind of makes it a little difficult to run a set like this.
Yeah, I would say Chesnaught is not your, usual sweeper.
It's definitely not a good setup sweeper, but, I mean, with the right pairing and the wrong opponent team comp, it could go off.
Sure, yeah. No, if your opponent is super weak to grass and fighting, you could have your stuff set out for you. But I think, as you mentioned, the banned AV and bulk up sets are all kind of mix-ups, and it's mainly going to come down to it acting as a defensive utility for a lot of the time.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. That's the thing it's best at, and as a C tier, it's kind of the best you can ask for, is being pretty good at one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, all in all, Chesnaught can be a solid option within the C tier if you are looking to fill out that Firewater Grass core and you need a more defensive Pokemon. As we said, it gets completely checked by flying types who fear neither of Chesnaught's stabs nor its spike setting ability and can break through either of its defenses in a breeze. Chesnaught struggles with momentum and can often fall prey to setup due to its lack of immediate supportive or offensive options outside of, like, Woodhammer. But as a bulky offense spawn, you could certainly do worse in the tier. It offers consistent chip and can keep itself healthy without the need for support. Of the things it does lack the ability to heal off status effects, and something like Toxic is going to cut into its expected lifespan by a lot. Burn will also cause it some problems. So Clerics can give it a bit more wiggle room on, like, switching into, a Scald or a Toxic or something like that. And of course, any team trying to use Chesnaught is going to need great checks to Flying-type Pokemon, as well as just Pokemon that have immediate offensive presence, that can balance out the fact that most of the time Chesnaught is going to be pretty passive and pretty abusable. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not really, that's about it. I guess the other problem is that it's weak to, like, a lot of known special types, like Fairy and Psychic as well.
Yeah,
Poison.
Fairy, Psychic, Fire...
Fire, Poison.
Yeah, Poison. Yeah, I mean, it is immune to Sludge Bomb, which is nice.
Yeah,
I do think the resistances to, like, Ground, Rock, and Dark is nice for it. And Water too, but yeah, it does suffer against Fairy and Flying a lot, yeah. Okay, well that is Chesnaught. Hope you done learned something. Now it is time for you to vote on which Pokemon will be covered next time. Will it be the Water-type Wishy-Washy or the Dark and Flying-type Honchkrow? Vote in the comments down below, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Ew.